Tim Norris here, aka GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris.
And welcome to episode... 6! Ah! Okay, we didn't... Superstar. We didn't do an episode last week because Carmen's had con crud.
I've had the con crud.
Yeah.
I was so sick. I was taking naps every day. I even missed game night because I was so grumpy I had to take a nap.
She missed game night last Saturday, and it was horrible.
I went to bed. Everybody was over. I played one game. You know, I got ready, got the house ready, and then I went to bed.
Yeah.
So,
and she was in bed the rest of the night, too. I mean, she just was out and felt sick, had con crud. Finally starting to kick that. Thank goodness.
Yes.
But that's why we haven't been filming as much, is because I want to get to these games, and I'm just sitting around like... twiddling my thumbs like, I want to play my new games! And she's been so sick, she hasn't been able to do much.
And I'm still taking a leave for my feet, which is why I wasn't there all 4 days.
Right, so let's talk about, I don't think we've told you guys about Carmen's boo-boo feet. Carmen's got boo-boo feet, okay?
Yeah.
Here's what happened. When we had our first baby, Emily, she's just a little girl, and Carmen was carrying her down the stairs, stepped wrong and broke one of her feet, okay? And bless her heart, did not drop that baby. I'd have dropped the baby. Yeah, go baby! You know what I'm saying? I gotta protect my foot.
I didn't even think it was broken for like a week. I wore like a tight sandal and I kept thinking it was just sprained or something. And then finally I went into the doctor. He's like, oh my God, you've been carrying that baby around on a broken foot.
Yeah, and the doctor said...
And he said, don't carry that baby
no
anymore.
more monkeys jumping on the bed. So then Jake is born. And because she wants to be symmetrical, she decides to break her other foot while walking down the stairs once again. And didn't drop him either, though. Bless your heart. You didn't drop... Well, that time
I don't
she
think
didn't
I was
drop him.
carrying him. No.
What was you doing with him?
I wasn't. It was Emily had called me into the room.
And you came running down the stairs.
Freaking out about something, so I came running and I broke my foot.
I thought you were carrying him, too. That was my bad. Okay.
But... apparently my bones get weak, vitamin D deficiency, something or other from having babies. So
them babies, man, bad business.
Yeah.
they break your feet.
They break your
That's
feet.
what babies are good for.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. Them babies break your feet. So Carmen's got boo-boo feet. She has a hard time walking around. So she was with me on Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah,
but,
and I had planned on going Saturday. I thought if I rest Friday, I'll be able to go. But I was still in a lot of pain.
Do you know what, though? I'll be honest. Saturday was so busy that I don't know if you would have enjoyed it a whole lot. It was crazy Saturday. Crazy busy. People everywhere. Hanging from the rafters. They were everywhere. But yeah,
yes,
it was crazy
Saturday. I
Saturday.
am the introverted one of the couple, in case you hadn't noticed.
No.
So, yeah.
So we want to talk about the fact that we met a lot of you guys, and it was really cool.
That was the most awesome thing about this Gen Con.
Certainly the highlight, I have to admit. It was fabulous and humbling both at the same time.
We met a lot of fans, we met a lot of fellow reviewers, we met people we only knew on Facebook. I mean, it was awesome.
It was really so cool. We really appreciate your guys' support, and the fact you stop us and say hi and just tell us that you enjoy the show, it means a lot. And probably the highlight of that portion was that we're eating at the convention, and I get up, and Carmen's there at the table by herself, and somebody comes up saying that they enjoy the show, and yada, 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 and they say, hey, make sure you tell Tom I said hi. And I thought, well, that was pretty cool.
Apparently, he recognized me more than he recognized Tim. So.
I thought it was funny. I liked it a lot.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we really appreciate it, guys. You really made us feel pretty special. And it's just, I don't know, we do a lot of, I mean, I don't want to say, we do hard work, but I mean, it is work, and that you guys like it, that it just means a lot.
And I guess I have to keep my pink hair, because that's how everybody finds us.
It's like a siren in the crowd, man.
Everybody's like, I couldn't find Tim, but then I saw your hair, and I was like, oh, there they are.
I'm just like another dude in the crowd, but then I got my siren-headed wife walking around. I was like, hey, look at that head. I know who that is.
Yeah. So I guess if I ever go back to a natural color, I'll have to wear a wig to Gen Con or something.
Cool. Let me pick it out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to pick out a wig.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you don't believe me.
I won't.
Okay.
I probably won't.
So, one of the other cool parts about Gen Con was that Carmen got to pose with some people that were in cosplay. And that was kind of we were eating at the Noodle and Company, which is just down the street a little bit. And out the window, we love Fairy Tail. We love that the anime. And I saw Natsu walking by the window, and I scream over at Carmen. She's in line to get a drink refill. I'm like, "Hey, Carmen, it's Natsu!"
And I couldn't believe it. I'm Natsu's biggest fan. Like, he's my favorite anime character.
I wonder why. He's like the loudest.
He's just like my husband in cartoon form.
It's because him and I both have slayed dragons. That's why.
Yes.
That's why.
That's why. It has nothing to do with being loud and annoying.
Oh, yeah. Speaking with the loud, if it wasn't for my loudness, you would not have caught the man because it was me running out into the street and screaming, "Natsu!" That got him to turn around, and we had to run down the street, and he waited for you.
He was nice enough to wait and get a picture taken with me, which we'll put up here so you can see it.
That was really cool. I really appreciate it. And then you got to meet Grell.
Grell from Black Butler, which my daughter's so jealous. It's her favorite anime.
And what was the Mitsu?
Hatsune Miku. Which, she's a Vocaloid from Japan. They have like there's kind of like a hologram with a computer voice, and she puts on concerts. And anyway.
It's weird.
It's another thing my daughter likes. She actually she dressed up like Hatsune Miku for Halloween one year. So I thought I gotta get a picture with Grell and Hatsune Miku, so she'll be jealous. Cool.
And she was. Mission accomplished. And then we saw Attack on Titan cosplay everywhere. Yeah. There was a lot of people that dressed up as Attack on Titan, so that was cool.
Awesome that people dress up for Gen Con.
I do too.
Really cool.
And you know what? I heard people grumbling about how, it's like, I just wish they wouldn't do that, 'cause, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of people like to stop and get their picture and stuff like that, and they feel like it holds up the crowd. Hey, man, take your fuddy-duddy attitude elsewhere.
It's part of the fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will agree with is that if they don't stop in the little skinny aisles as we're trying to walk through the exhibit hall, that is annoying, okay?
Maybe you should take your pictures outside of the exhibit hall.
But when it's outside of the exhibit hall, I think it's awesome watching everybody walk around. Yeah. It's so cool. Okay, now this episode is all going to be devoted to our top 8
top
games. Check it out. They did an 8.
8 is
symmetrical. It is a symmetrical number. There is no other number that you can name that is more symmetrical. Well, 88 is very symmetrical too. Yes. 888, 8,000.
No, 888. Yeah, you can still slice it through the middle. That's true.
Yes, you can, and that's the point. That's the point, is that you could, right?
Yeah.
No, then we can't go to 888. It would have to be 8,888. Because
then
you have
slice
2
the middle 8 in.
No matter what, it has to be.
Okay, well anyway, we're anime fans, and Death the Kid is awesome.
Soul Eater. Guys, come on! Keep up with us here. But these are our top 8 games from Gen Con that we enjoyed the most. But before I get into them, I have to tell you, there will be no Fantasy Flight ones because...
You might notice.
Good God, man, I can never seem to ever find an opening where I could sit down and demo anything Fantasy Flight. And I've even tried talking to them and seeing, hey, would you give me a chance to be able to sit down at the table to where I could film this and pop that up and blah, blah, blah. They don't care. Fantasy Flight, they don't care.
Yeah.
And
our friends had a hard time just getting at a table, too. I mean, it's just, they're always so packed.
They always are. It is. It's a madhouse. But, yeah, so anyway, I didn't get a chance to demo a single thing they had, which I thought the Star Wars Descent did look cool, and I wanted to try The Witcher out as well, but, I just gave up. I was like, forget it. There's plenty of other publishers that I feel like appreciate the exposure more anyway, so whatever, right?
I wanted to shout out to Kevin Manning because he took care of me Sunday when Tim had an appointment.
Man, I was running everywhere.
I didn't have a phone or anything, so I was like, Kevin, don't leave me!
That entire Gen Con, I was running everywhere, and it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I was very scheduled this Gen Con, and boy, it really showed, and I had a blast. So, alright, hey, that's enough of that. Let's get into our top 8 games. Now, some of these we talked about already in our previous shows, and man, they did come to fruition, and I thought they were pretty fabulous games. But did they make the top 8? I don't know.
Let's
get into it. Number 8 is...
Kingsport Festival.
Yes, now this was in our video of games that we felt like were flying.
under the radar, and it sure was. I mean, I didn't even know about it.
It was Brittany Bowe who first brought it to our attention. I wrote to Passport Game, and I talked to Bobby, and I said, hey, I'd like to at least sit down and try a demo of the game, just because I didn't expect them, but they had it for sale. I didn't even expect that, and they had plenty of copies. But I tell you, this is probably, in my opinion, the sleeper hit of Gen Con, because I don't think much of anybody knew about it, but it is an awesome combination. If you're familiar with Kingsburg and you're familiar with Eldritch Horror, what did they do?
They got together they
consummated, didn't they?
9 months later, out comes Kingsport Festival.
And it's a cool little game. I like it an awful lot. I mean, if you like a little bit of luck and you like, the Euro-y feel of pushing cubes, I guess you can say. But I like the spells, how you can use spells to try to enhance and try to either get more victory points or try to invoke the gods.
The spells can be very helpful. I have bad luck in this game. I always roll really low.
You still beat me?
Well, that's the thing. That's what makes it a challenge. I mean, it's really kind of neat when you roll low consistently. Because you're more challenged that way.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool game. My only complaint is those God cards could have been like half the size. That's my only complaint.
It takes up the whole table.
It does, man. But we do have a copy of it. We'll be doing some reviews up on it. Just know now, I like it. I think it's cool, but we'll get into more why we think it is in our review. So number 7 was
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Man, I wish you could have been there with me on Friday.
I did not have the pleasure of playing, but I got the play-by-play from Tim.
Man, I had so much fun with this game. This game, I tell you, it's one of those ones that fits my personality perfect, okay? Yeah. It's about bluffing, it's about lying, it's about, trying to be sneaky. I don't know why, but that just fits me perfect. I mean,
He's really good at being fake.
No, I'm not, honey. I love you most than anybody.
No. I'm really bad at being fake, to the point where I hardly even have any tact.
I'm like,
so
what do you got? You say you got 4 bread in there. Yeah, I got 4 bread. Why? You ain't gonna search my bag, are you?
I have 4 bread. My face isn't red or anything. My eyes aren't shifty.
I thought you was going into a Dr. Seuss thing.
No.
I have 4 bread. My face is not red. There is a fish on top of my head.
So anyway, I don't think I'll be very good at it, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
I think it's a blast, and it's
I like negotiating. So
well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not about being very good at the game, okay? It's just the enjoyment, the experience of playing with everybody and watching people get busted, okay? Because the whole premises of the game is that if you're not sheriff, you're trying to sneak as much contraband or other types of goods than what you're claiming past the sheriff, and that's the whole fun of the game, is just being sneaky.
And there's no rules.
Oh, well, there are rules.
Bets on what other people are doing.
Yeah, but you still have to honor everything.
Right.
So there are rules in that you have to honor the agreements that you.
But there's a whole lot of stuff going on that I didn't expect.
Yeah, but there are things you can do that are kind of outside the box. For instance, let's say if the sheriff is going to search my bag, and I tell him, look, I tell you what, don't search my bag, and I'll give you all the chickens that I have in here. And if he says okay, and I open my bag and I just so happen not to have any chickens, I still honored it. There was just no chickens. You see what I'm saying? So you can still be sneaky and manipulative, to try to even,
He likes loopholes.
I do. This game is perfect for my personality. It just really is. I think it's an absolute smash, and I think it's just one of those games that, you know what? It could be turned so easily into a drinking game, too, that if you get busted, you have to take a shot. And I just think it's one of those games. It just has the sky's the limit on this game.
You can try to influence the sheriff, when they're inspecting other people's bags.
Oh, yeah. If the sheriff is going to let Carmen pass, maybe I'll say, well, I'll give you 2 coins. Come on. Or, if you're wrong, I'll split half the fine. Open that bag up if you think that she's, trying to sneak stuff by. So it's a blast of a game. I'm telling you, this is going to be the hit game, party-style game of the year, no doubt.
It's the game where you lose all your gamer friends. Tell them what that guy said.
This is kind of the highlight of the Sheriff of Nottingham experience when I was at Gen Con. So we're playing, and it clicked with me real quick, okay? I understood my role really fast in this game. And I think other people were starting to slowly catch on where I immediately kind of understood. I'm going to be manipulative. I'm going to be sneaky. I'm going to be mouthy, you know, and try to taunt people. And that's what the game's about.
He's going to be mouthy.
Surprise, right? Not mouthy, you know, disrespectful, but just, you know, taunting-wise. That, you know, I guess, you know, if you're going to let that person pass, then maybe I'll, you know, try to encourage you to maybe not let them pass. Just because I want to see the sheriff felt and that person. You know what I'm saying? and just for the... It cost me a couple coins, but just the entertainment was enough.
So what was the highlight?
All right, so the highlight was that I'm doing really well in the game. And the guy standing to the left of me looks at his daughter across the table, thumbs over at me, and goes, I don't like this guy. And I thought, boy, this game is certainly... I mean... This is the game you're going to lose friends in, I think, possibly. But it is so much fun. And I did win. And that's the moral of the story. You know, be as underhanded as you possibly can, and you will win. Okay,
so, number 6.
Number 6. Legendary Encounters. Go ahead, I'll let you start.
Legendary Encounters. It was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, I didn't think they could improve on Marvel Legendary. I really didn't. But this... It does. I mean, it really does. I think the best part is the fact that you can play cards on other people's turns.
The coordinate ability. That is really cool.
And then you get to draw cards when you do that, so you're not penalized for doing so. So you all work together. There's a lot more co-op involved in this, which I guess Marvel Legendary isn't really co-op most of the time.
No, this one feels like you either all work together or you die trying. I mean, that's the whole gist of the game. You work together or you die trying.
Right.
And you talked about the scanning of the rooms, how you liked that.
Scanning is cool. You got to scan the rooms to see what's in it before you can attack anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that, you know, when we talked about in our pre-Gen Con video about what we thought of this game, we were just kind of, you know, guessing that this was going to be the game where it works better in a group, whereas Marvel Legendary, which... You and I have stated this several times. We feel like we like playing just us too. We don't really like playing with a whole lot of people with Marvel Legendary because the game just drags.
When you add more people in, you're just kind of waiting around on your turn.
Yeah. And so when you play with the 5 with Marvel Legendary, it's not a good game. When you play with around 2 or 3, it's a fantastic game. With this one, I don't know how it's going to scale 100%, but I will tell you this: it's the game that I think when it plays with 5, it's at its best. It's just, that's my opinion on it.
Well, we played with 4 and loved it. So.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. It's wonderful. Yeah. And I could see them taking some of these ideas that they put into Legendary Encounters and transferring them over, possibly into maybe redesigning even some of the Marvel Legendary and coming up with a different, you know...
I would love that. It'd be cool if they put Coordinate in Marvel.
Yeah, stuff like that I think would change up the system a little bit.
Now, one more thing I wanted to say about it being co-op is that... you know, we've played co-op games where you're not necessarily making friends by playing it, you know, like one person becomes the boss, and anyway, I think this is a great co-op game to make friends. I think we were getting along with the other people at the table.
So you play this one after you play Sheriff or before Sheriff? Because
after, so that you can make up.
I hate you. Let's play Marvel. Your
Legendary Encounters.
I love you,
buddy. You saved my butt.
Thank you. Maybe that's why we did Sheriff before we did this one.
Yes.
Because, that's the order of play as well.
It makes sense.
Alright, so next game on our list would be number 5, which is... okay, we did a video on this already. We talked about how much we love it, but Lords of Zidit? We still don't know how to pronounce it.
Maybe it's like Spanish. Hidit?
You sounded like it.
I say Zidit. Lords of Zidit. We love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and we took down the live play, made it private. We're going to do a new live play because the rulebook was kind of very vague in one area, which does somewhat change the game. But this game has recruiting heroes, slaying monsters, strategy, planning. I mean, this game has a lot going for it that I think just makes it absolutely fantastic.
I love the fact that you plan your turn ahead of time. Because and then you take turns taking actions, but. For me, I have kind of a short attention span.
No!
So, the fact that you plan it all out ahead of time and it's right there on your program board helps me out a lot.
Yeah, and well, And it's just one of those games that I think it's cool how the in-game scoring system works. And I know some people whine about it, but truthfully, I think it's pretty cool. I like the fact it's not just all about victory points. I mean, really, this is the game that you know, people say you don't have to be faster than the bear. You know, just be faster than the other people, you know?
Yeah.
This is kind of what this game is. You don't have to be the best in everything. You just got to be a little bit better than everybody else, you know?
Right.
So,
in the right categories.
in the right categories, exactly.
And the, what is it, the AI player, what do you call that?
In the 3-player game?
In the 3-player game, you're actually manipulating a 4th player in order to try to bump off
and
your
And
opponents.
you had a blast with that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really like the scoring system. Once you get used to it, I mean, the first game or two, you're kind
Yeah,
of leery.
Yeah.
But you get used to it, you know what you're going into and expecting, and it's part of your strategy.
Yeah, this game will probably still be in our top 5 of all of 2014. I wouldn't be surprised at all, just because we like it that much.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
So that was number 5.
It's another one of those, I think, that combines European and American elements very
well.
well.
Oh, yeah, very well. I agree, because it is a pick-up and delivery game, really.
Right.
But then it still comes up with the strategy of, you know, trying to make sure that you set your dials correctly and trying to, I guess, outsmart or outwit your opponents.
And you're slaying monsters, and the components are awesome.
Slaying monsters, you know. I mean, come on, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Let's just be honest, right? So number 4 is our King of New York. Okay, man, I love this game. This is fantastic, but I got a serious issue with this. I don't see a reason to play King of Tokyo anymore.
Yeah.
And I love that game. I love King of Tokyo, but King of New York is so good. And I mean, it's basically the same game, but boy, it's sure added with the ability to smash the buildings, military, you know, the whole Statue of Liberty thing, and this superstar. These are all really cool elements that they've added to this game that, well, yeah, King of Tokyo is going to collect little dust for a while, I think. I don't know.
I think we could still use the characters from King of Tokyo, maybe, in King of New York.
Well, you can definitely use the characters. I mean, they can be used back and forth. Right. That's not the issue. It's just that King of New York seriously made... It almost feels like King of Tokyo is kind of more geared towards, you know, I guess, introductory, you know, to get people into wanting to sit down and game with you. King of New York is a step above because there's a little bit more decision-making to make in that game.
King of Tokyo may be better for the younger crowd.
Well, younger and maybe non-gamers.
Yeah.
Whereas King of New York is, like I said, still a step above.
King of Tokyo still has its niche.
Well, it does, but it's not as strong as what it used to be, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. King of New York is fantastic. Fantastic.
Bigger and better.
Oh, man, if you like King of Tokyo, you're going to love King of New York. Great game, guys. Great game. All right, number 3 on the list.
My favorite.
Yeah, I was shocked at how well... We talked about it going in.
Yeah.
And it really delivered.
Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? A tile game. We love tile games.
I love tile games,
okay, now,
but this one is
We talked
better.
about this because Carmen, at one time before we started filming, she shot out favorite tile game. And I had to remind my beautiful bride of Carcassonne Hunters and Gatherers.
Yes.
Because we love... Why do we love Carcassonne Hunters and Gatherers, though?
Because of the kitties.
Because of the tigers. And we like to lay the tile down. We went, yeah, because it's funny that we're eating the other person's animals with it.
Carcassonne Hunters and Gatherers is one of our first loves. I'm always going to love it.
Yeah, that's never going to leave our collection. But this one, I think it's ranking up there, isn't it? Because it's got a lot of cool... I tell you what, I didn't expect it to be a little bit as strategic as it is. I mean, it's not going to brain burn you,
it's not as simple. I feel like it's not as simple as other tile laying games.
Well, it's more
kind of a step up.
It's a more complex than Hunters and Gatherers, just as enjoyable. But I think that if we're going to say, because we have Sultania as well, which is a tile game, but I think it's above Sultania, but right there with Hunters and Gatherers. Make sense?
As far as complexity?
As far as how I rank them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is more complex than Sultania as well.
Oh, it is more complex.
What I like about it is there's a room if you finish a room by putting a room on all the doorways, you get a bonus.
Yep.
And that bonus could be a free action, a free turn.
Depends on what the room is that you finished. I mean,
another
whatever it is,
free
there's a whole list
or,
of them. Yeah.
or a scoring bonus, which I really took advantage of that scoring bonus.
Yeah, you did.
It was awesome. It was really a lot of fun.
Carmen ran away with the game. Bottom line, she destroyed us.
That's why I love it.
But it wasn't fair because I was last in initiative, and then they didn't let me take a final turn because they had to shorten the game because people were waiting to play, and which Made it to where I came in.
And when you're last in
second.
initiative, sometimes you don't get a turn because you run out of money. So that happened to me one time.
I still came in second, though. Behind
really?
her. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
You ran away with it. You were big time points. Nobody was catching you.
It was funny though. That was at the end of the game. It didn't look like I was
No,
gonna
because
win
I took off early, and then after that you just caught right up. But yeah, fantastic game. Tile lane. You're just finishing up the rooms, building your castle, and you take pride in what you're building. Right. That's what's funny.
And to look at the components, I was not impressed.
No, it looks so drab and boring. Yeah. But it's a castle. You can't expect it to be that fancy. I mean, it's a castle. How fancy are you going to make it?
I gotta say, to look at it, I was not that impressed. I was not that excited. And I played the game, and I was like, wow, I love it.
You know, I saw this at Origins, and I did not get a chance to sit down and play it. And I'm glad, because I'm glad I got to wait and we got to experience it, you know, together for the first time, because I thought it was one of those ones where, you know, you guys hear a lot of hype about games, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the best game ever, and then it, you know, it doesn't deliver. This is one that has a lot of hype that's driving it, and I tell you what, it's going to deliver for you as well. So a very unique game that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. And one of those ones where I think a lot of couples will enjoy too, because it's just... It's a pleasant game, you know. It's not a game of war or you know, I take your stuff. This is a pleasant game that I think, you know, when you're building your own stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I don't like it when he takes my stuff.
Well, and it's one of those ones where you're taking pride into what you're building, you know. Oh, I'm going to place that room there. Oh, no, I'm going to place it there because it looks pretty.
It looks pretty there. And sometimes you can fit them together like Tetris.
Her castle looked really cool at the end, man. My castle was like, I got this.
Put a picture of my castle up.
I don't know. Did I? Yeah, okay, yeah, I did take it.
Yay, put a castle.
You know, and my castle had like a big circle room with this leg attached to it with a stairway. I mean, mine looked stupid.
Sometimes you get points with those ugly rooms, though.
Mine looked like a monster. Just be honest.
It was a monster.
It was a monster.
Okay.
All right, number 2 on our list is Hyperborea. Whoa, guys, man, I cannot stress how much I like this game. Has the dudes on the map feel, but it ain't dudes on the map. Yeah. I mean, you guys saw our video, didn't you? Right? You
saw my review of this, right? I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, Ilian, like in the review, I didn't think I was going to.
No.
We took the components out of the box, you know, looked at the game, and we thought, oh man, this is like. This combines a lot of elements that we hate. That's what we thought. Yeah. That was our first impression.
Yeah, when I first started setting it up and, I mean, punching it out and kind of just skimming through the rulebook, I thought I didn't know what to do because I thought that it was just going to be a game where it's like, we're not going to like it. Yeah. We're not going to like it. And then we played, and oh my goodness, that changed so fast. Love this game, man. This will be in our top 10 of the 2014.
Such a great combination of European and American elements.
Oh yeah.
And it's got a bit of skirmish thrown in. It's got
but there's no luck of the die roll. I mean, everything is planned. It's programmed, okay? And that's what I think I like so much about the game. It never revolves around that. Oh well, you know, you have And I talked about this in the review. I don't like games that I set up a good strategy just to watch it blow up in my face just because the dice don't want to roll in my favor. I hate that.
Well, there's a bit of luck because of pulling the cubes out. Sometimes you can have a really bad turn.
Yeah, but you can.
You do know which cubes are in your bag. I mean, you plan that.
Yeah.
So, but it's great. What was I going to say about it? Oh. It feels like a European game. And that's the game I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with European games.
Yeah, so. And I think that's why you and I both like it so much. Right. Because it doesn't feel Ameritrashy, but yet it does. But it's not. It's got more of a Euro pull to it.
It's a Euro feel. It only has like Ameritrashy components.
Well, it's just because it does look like dudes on a map, bottom line. Right. You know? So, number 1.
Imperial Settlers!
Imperial Settlers! I love this game. I love it, love it, love it, love it. This game is fantastic. I cannot tell you how much I love Imperial Settlers. I could write a poem. I could write a poem about it. You guys want me to write a poem?
Please don't recite a poem. I really enjoy the theme of this game. It is so cool. I mean, the fact that I could play as barbarians and then I could play as Egyptians, I think that's fantastic.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. I own a copy of Imperial Settlers, and so should you.
Oh, that was beautiful!
Thank you. I thought I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Listen, I cannot tell you how much I love this game. It is a fantastic. I mean, okay. The thing about it is that this is another one of those ones that was designed perfectly for me, okay? Because we love card games. Well, we both do, okay? I love card games. I love games where I'm building an engine, like a deck builder. But it's not deck building, but you're still creating an engine. You're trying to produce. You're trying to, you know, try to... with combined actions that work with your production. You know, you're trying to do features where it's going to give you like bonus scoring based upon your production and your actions. I mean, it all intertwines beautifully together. You can go after your opponent or just work on your own stuff, okay?
We really like games where we build an engine. And we haven't played any for a while.
And I tell you what, here's the thing about this game. I was worried because you could play the game where you could be aggressive, go after your opponents, okay? But you also can play passive, to where you're only working on your own board, okay? And it works beautifully both ways.
It does.
It really does.
It works. You don't have to be aggressive.
I like being aggressive to try to just be that, because you kind of need to sometimes, because it's like your opponent will have something you just really kind of need,
right,
you know? And it's like, you know, if I raise that building, I'm going to get the 2 resources I need to be able to build this card. So I got to have that option. But at the same time, it's not necessary to still enjoy the game, okay?
Right.
And even when somebody raises your buildings, you're not mad. Why? Because it becomes a foundation, and you're going to have foundations to be able to build your faction cards anyways. Oh.
I had quite a few extra foundations last game we played, though.
What can I say? Okay, look.
You know,
all right, look. I played the game by myself, probably around 15.
He plays the solo version a lot.
I played a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've pretty well mastered the barbarians. Okay, do not play against me and let me be the barbarians. All right.
And he did a solo video for you all because I was.
They've already all watched it.
I was still
all
fighting
of them have.
Concred, so he had to do a video without me. So that's what he did, and he loves it anyway, so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and I did very well with my barbarian tribe. We did great. Yeah, I think this is just a fabulous game. It's the perfect game. It just is. It's the perfect game. I love it an awful lot. It plays so well solo. It plays wonderfully with just 2. It plays great with 3. It plays great with 4. It is the perfect game, especially for me. I love this game, and I can't express to you. I wrote a poem about it, people!
I enjoy playing it with him, even though he's played the solo version a lot. And that doesn't happen a lot. We've had games ruined because he's practiced too much, and I can't win, and so then I'm just, like, done.
I count cards. I really do. And it's one of those things...
I don't.
And I have a hard time. And I think that's why I can be good at, like, Star Realms and things like that, is because I count cards. You know, I see how many's been out, I see how many's been destroyed, I see how many you've had, I know how many's probably still left in the deck, and I know which ones are there. And it's a flaw. I don't mean to be like that, but it is.
He does it with everything. A dice rolling game, he'll figure out, you know, how many
probabilities.
And he's team strategy, and I'm team dumb luck.
Team dumb luck. And I have gotten to the point to where now, when I play the barbarian tribe, I know. You know, okay, well, I know basically how they work, and I know how they function, and I know how to make them successful so much to the point, I mean, on each one of the cards, it tells you how many cards are in the deck. I mean, you know, that's a giveaway. I mean, that's easy. And that makes it even easier for me, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it is a fantastic game. Cannot recommend it highly enough. I mean, it's sold out right now. They're working on the next print run. We actually have a copy, obviously. We'll be doing a video review of it. Just know right now, I think it's fabulous, wonderful. Pre-order now. But I'll explain it in a little bit more detail in our videos as to why I think. But yeah, Imperial Settlers, it will for a fact be in my top 10 of not Gen Con, but just of 2014. No doubt about it. So, all right, so that is our top 8 games.
Oh, you're going to do a top 10. You're not going to be symmetrical.
For the end of the year?
For the end of the year, yeah.
Maybe we'll do the top 88 games.
88.
Of 2014. Well, I don't know. Dice Tower does like the top 100 all time, don't they? But I don't think they do it for just 1 year. But
no, probably.
They always move it to the top 88, yeah, of 2014. So, all right. So, anyways, that's putting a wrap on this episode. Anything else before we do it?
For Random Ramblings!
You ready? You want to go first or second?
I'll go second. Let me read your thing first. Ready? Okay,
I'm ready.
let's see what this first game that comes to your mind when I say the following.
Yes.
Complicated.
CO2 by Stronghold Games, just overly complicated. I mean, it's like, I didn't say that, I can't say I did not enjoy the game because it had elements. Wow, that was really fast response too, wasn't it?
That was.
It was impressive.
I was probably going to say Legacy Gears of Time just because the poster's right there in front of me. And I'm like, oh, Legacy.
But no, CO2 by Stronghold Games, it's just so, I don't know how to put my finger on it, but I played that whole game and still could not quite figure out how the game works, still pulled out a win. And because the only reason I did was because all I did was just kept going to summits that just allowed me to keep moving up on these tracks, and that's all I focused on the whole game. I couldn't figure out a strategy. I couldn't figure out...
You did a KISS strategy. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid,
do the same thing over and over.
I just did the same stuff over and over, yeah, and it just made it... I don't know. The game... And I think that's the same designer as the, not Panamax, but the Autobahn game that they're coming out with as well. And that's what I fear about that one. See, the thing about CO2 was, it's not, like I said, it's not a bad game because it's enjoyable, but I think it's almost a little bit drab and boring. I'm going to go to a summit, and then that's going to let me do this. And I watched the video on the Kaban, and it was doing kind of the same thing. You go to this meeting, and this meeting allows you to do that. I don't want a game about meetings, I'll be honest. Meetings, I've been in enough meetings my whole life that I don't need any more meetings. Now, I'm not saying that means that, you know, the automobile game is going to be bad. I'm just saying, for me, yeah. I don't know. CO2. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
I have enough. You ready for yours?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. My brain's not working very well. I'm still on the painkiller for my foot. So.
What's your favorite number of players for a game? Any game. So.
What's my favorite number of players for a game?
That's very general.
Probably go with 3. I'd
Yeah,
go with 3. I love it when one of our best friends comes over and we just play a bunch of games, you know?
I was hoping she would just say 2, but... Oh, silence! Okay, yeah, 3. 3's a great number. Because 3's definitely a crowd.
Well, 2 is obvious response. 3, I like it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, we got Kevin coming over from Griffin
over.
Gaming. We're going to play some games.
Gonna play games with just
I think 3 is a good number,
just
too.
the 3 of us.
We can make it if we try. Just the 3 of us.
You and I doesn't work.
You and I.
Yeah.
You and
I.
You and I.
But yeah, we have a blast when just one friend comes over and we play. So I think 3's good.
Song's still going through
that. And let's face it, there are some games that don't work very well with only 2 players. So. Yeah,
and I think that's, you know, like Radu, he always focuses on it has to work for 2 players, you know. And, you know, for us, we have game groups, so we're able to go anywhere. And
even with games that work better with more players, you know, we find a way around it. We'll each control 2 players.
Yeah, like Lords of Zeta, we do that with 2 players, and we don't mind it at all.
Right.
Lost Legends will control 2 heroes. We don't mind that at all. I enjoy stuff like that, because it gives you a greater chance you can pull out a win, too.
Exactly. If one of them that you're controlling is really sucking it up.
I want to put this guy right there deliberately to block you so this guy can go for the win.
But you're both doing it, so it works out.
Yeah. So that is it, guys. We hope you enjoyed episode 6, and episode 7 was... We talked about it.
What was it going to be?
Well, I'll give you a second.
The best themes, the best thematic games.
In our collection, the games that we feel like are our favorite thematic games, our top 5. We'll go 5. 5's not very symmetrical.
It's not symmetrical.
No, it's not at all.
We're
and
sorry,
it just got
kid.
really bright in here. We got a window behind right there, so it like goes, whenever the sun comes out, it like. Oh.
And that makes me think of
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Yes.
Da, da.
You know when Obi-Wan's fighting Darth
Maul.
Darth Maul. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like one line. Alas, we'll take our revenge on the Sith. Well, yeah, good, yeah. Just do some flips and stuff. Yeah, okay, anyways, that is episode 6 in the books. Episode 7 will be our top 5 thematic games that are in our collection. What are your most thematic games that you guys enjoy the most, okay? Give us one of each, whatever, 2, whatever. Give us 5, all right? And we'll name them off on next week's episode. Until then, we love you all so very much. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Griffin Gaming, from new releases to pre-orders. Griffin Gaming, Enter in promo code GreyElephant for 5% off your order.